Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Ready to Love Miami. The seasons have me confused. The episode numbers have me confused. I'm just going to type something in the description bar. If you hear the wind, it's because I'm back on the road. All right, I uploaded my Bell Collective review. I let y'all know in the beginning that I had to take a little road trip. And I'm doing my 5 hours back to my destination. And I'm going to get these reviews done before midnight. I'm going to do it. So, yeah. Ready to love. Let's go. So they meet with Nephew Tyler Perry, and Nephew Tyler Perry is telling them the same thing he always tell them. He tell them the same thing every week. Be intentional. Be vulnerable. Turn up the romance. It's getting hot. It's getting to the point where we got to make a decision. We turning up the heat. You know, that kind of talk. So the fellas realize not only do they got to get a little bit more romanticals, but they also have to be more intentional about the ladies that they like and that the ladies they want to spend some more time with. So with that being said, we have LJ going on a date with Charisse. Now, that date completely bombed in my opinion, and it's not due to the fault of LJ. LJ did fine. He showed up with flowers. He planned a creative date. They went salsa dancing. He said that he loves to do salsa, and really LJ should have took me on a date because I like the salsa too. I'm a beginner, but I know my steps. I know my steps way better than Charisse knew hers. Charisse tells us that even though LJ is not who she would normally date, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of her announcing every chance she gets what her type is and what her normal type is and how she don't normally just go on the date. We don't really care. Obviously, what you normally date has not been working for you because you wouldn't be on Ready to Love. But the reason why I say the date bombed is because at the end, I felt like LJ was trying to get her to open up more. He was trying to have a little bit more conversation with her, trying to figure out what kind of, what her perfect date would be and the type of things that she likes to do, trying to figure out how her weekend was. And I just felt like Charisse was dry. Now, that could be her personality. She might not have nothing going on, but I don't know. I didn't feel like she was like, oh, I want you to plan it. You let me know. No, girl, he asked you a question now. I need you to come up with some dating cues. We can't leave it all up to the fellas to entertain us. We have to engage in the conversation. I did agree with Nephew Tyler Perry. You get out of this process what you put in it. So you need to put something in it, Charisse. I mean, come on, girl. Get some conversation going. So the next date went a lot better, and that is between Rara and what's her name? Jamila. I was about to call her Jaleesa. I think I actually have called her Jaleesa in a different review. But her and Rara go on a date, and they go on a candle making date, which I thought was really cute. Rara is going to have, I'm going to say at least 3 people caught up. Once we start getting to the nitty gritty, once we start getting to the bottom, he is going to have these ladies caught up. Mark my words. They are unsuspecting. They are unassuming. They think he is just this nice guy. I'm telling you, he about to get them caught up. So they go on their date, and him and Jamila are talking about different things. The conversation is flowing pretty good. They talk about the process and how both of them feel about it. Rara feels like he definitely is trying to step it up more. Before he was kind of in his shell when he was dating, and now he's kind of stepping out and trying to plan more things and being more intentional. For Jamila, sometimes she feels like she is always bracing herself due to the competitive nature of the process. So even though she likes Rara, she's always kind of like, there's stiff competition. There's other women that he's interested in here as well. Then they kind of run with some inside joke they have about olive juice and how it looked like olive oil when you just mouthed it. Then she asks him, y'all, now see, this is where she messed up in the date. Do you think you could be falling in love? Or are you in love? Could you be falling? Why do we do this, ladies, on Ready to Love? Why do we mention love and falling in love and falling for each other? No. I'm not telling you to play games. But what I am telling you is don't be bringing up love. I don't even trust anybody who brings. I remember I was talking to somebody once who said they thought they might be in love with me. This might have been like the second or third date. I was like, no. That is usually a red flag. I don't know if she was joking or not, but I just wouldn't have brought it up. She might have been joking, but no, girl. Don't bring up the L word right now. Okay, not even lesbian. So then, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anybody. I shouldn't have said it. It's too late. I already did it, y'all. I'm sorry. So then they share a kiss, and she's talking about that kiss meant something. That kiss solidified. That kiss didn't mean nothing. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all are too old for this. Now, I hate to sound pessimistic. No, I don't. Because this is real. This is honest. This is what your grandmama should have told you. It don't mean nothing. Okay, it's just a kiss. He probably gonna kiss somebody else before the episode is over. Don't get your heart too caught up in it. Just play to win, Jamila. Do not swoon over Ra-Ra. He got 2 other women he is interested in other than you. Ra-Ra about to get him caught up, y'all. I'm telling you it's coming. I see it coming. All right, y'all. Y'all hear my windshield wipers? Listen. Will y'all allow me 2 cuss words? I just need 2. I need 2 cuss words. Y'all gonna have to give me at least 2. I'm gonna try to narrate. I'm gonna try not to say it. So, a group date is occurring with Justice, Swayze, Looney, and Shakira. Now, Shakira shows up. And she already getting on my nerves. She in the confessional saying that she's been through a lot lately. And her trauma had been mentioned. So she's excited to be able to go out on a date. And to get to spend some time with the guys. And good, I'm excited for her. So they go on this trampoline date. And you know this was all Swayze's idea. He tells us they gonna have a little fun today. I said, I think Swayze just wanted to get out there and show that he had the stamina. And somebody else did not. So we get over there, we look at Justice. Justice ain't doing none of the movements that involve bending down and doing any type of, calisthenics. He's not doing any type of movement that's going to involve him bending his back. He said he can't do all of that, all right? I'm going to just keep it up here. I said, what's wrong now? I just be in quality time. Has time finally caught up to that ass? Y'all had to allow me to say one because I had to say it that way. What's wrong, Justice? Okay, I thought you wasn't doing nothing but spending time. You should have had time to work and stretch that back. All right, since you want to spend all this time, I suggest you be able to keep up and keep your stamina up so you can keep up with the young folk since you want to waste time and whatnot. But anyway, I'm sorry. I had to get my jokes off on that one. So after it's all over, the girls hung in there. I could tell they was tired, especially Looney. She got that wagon. Y'all know when you got a whole lot of body, that's extra weight you working out with. So, and now she not fat by any means, but she thick. So they go off to their old separate corners, and we got Justice and Looney, and unfortunately, Looney is Justice, his strongest connection, and Looney does say that they do have a strong connection. I was very disappointed. I want better for Looney, but that's what she want to do, and that's fine. Let me not be so mean. Let me not be so harsh. Justice still ain't really talking about nothing. He give her a ladybug because it's free, and then he started talking about long walks on the beach and long walks in the park and all this other stuff. Free 99. Y'all know how Justice like to do it. But he is telling Looney how much he likes her, and he likes the energy, and they're exchanging little glances and hand holding. So, it's cool. It's right. It's cute. I'm happy for the churn. If that's what the churn want to do, I'm not even going to be mad. I'm not going to be mad. But Looney, make sure you got another connection in your back pocket, because Justice just one of them ones. He one of them ones. So, once that whole thing is over and they not over, but once the whole scene is over with the 2 of them, we jump over to Swayze and Shakira. Shakira gets on my nerves again because now she has the opportunity to have a conversation with a man without bringing up her trauma, without bringing up things that she's been through. What does she do? Lead right in with it. Tell Swayze, well, I've really kind of been having a hard time the last couple of days. And Swayze was like, really? Oh, actually, she said she had a rough time after the party. The party didn't go as well for her. And she starts telling Swayze how her trauma was revealed and she didn't really appreciate that and how she had been going through a lot. And Swayze was like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry that it didn't go well for you. And Swayze says the same thing that we've been saying. Maybe Shakira is not ready for this. Maybe she still has a lot of healing to do. And I would agree. Unless production has edited her to be talking about her trauma all the time, that is literally all the girl talks about is her trauma, what she's been through. When she has the opportunity to have a one-on-one with a man, she brings up her trauma, even though she's mad at Kadian for bringing up her trauma in front of the man. Did you just want to be the first person to bring it up? I guess she wanted to be the first person to bring it up. At this point, I think we just need to make an announcement before every date. I've been through trauma, and now I'm trying to date. But yeah, Shakira, I can't take no more. I tried to be patient with old girl, but I can't take no more. She got to go on here with this. I've had enough. All right, so Brandy and Samson meet up. I don't know if I really see it for them. But Samson is asking Brandy some questions. And let me start by saying this. Samson says that he has no problem turning up the romance because the romance has already been up for him. He don't know what the other fella's been doing, but he's just been keeping it as romantical as he always does. So him and Brandy go out, and he's asking Brandy, has she ever been engaged? Brandy reveals that she hasn't even been in a relationship. And now look, ladies, I'm not telling y'all to lie. I would never outright tell y'all to just lie, but I would tell y'all to embellish the relationships that you have been in, because I do know that people get very nervous when you tell them you've never been in a relationship and you are in your 30s. I don't know, just people start giving you the side eye. And I always have said, even though some people might disagree, them situationships that y'all be in for 7, 8 months, a year, sometimes, I don't know some people that's been in a situationship for a year. Baby, that's a relationship. I don't care what you people talk about. Y'all, if y'all ain't putting no name to it or whatever, but if you taking up that much of somebody's time, and then y'all getting jealous if one of you is dealing with somebody else, because I've seen both parties get jealous. Listen, it sounds like a relationship to me, and I just go ahead and use it, Brandy, if I was you. But Samson's just like, okay, all right. So Brandy says she's just been dealing with a lot of games. Nobody really wanted to be serious with her, and that's been one of the biggest issues. I would be interested in knowing more of Brandy's backstory. I know that's not what Ready to Love is for, but I would be interested in learning a little bit more. Like, does it have to do with her being a flight attendant? Are guys insecure about that and how much traveling she'll be doing? Or has she kind of been looking for love and guys that were non-committal, but she really liked them, and so she tried to make it work? And I just want to know more about her. She seems like a really sweet girl. Samson, he didn't seem to be too put off by it. He does say that he was engaged at one point in time. Did he say she was Colombian? Why did he feel the need to let us know that? I need to rewind it, but I'm pretty sure he said she was Colombian. Okay. But they were engaged, and they broke their engagement off mutually, and they're still good, but he thinks that meeting her and being engaged to her set him up for his next situation, for his wife. His next woman will be his wife. So there's that. All right. Then let's jump over to the date between Kayla and Mike, which was weird. Mike is giving me very much insecure vibes. I want to know where I stand with you, but I'm not going to necessarily let you know where you stand with me. And Kayla not having it. I'm telling you, Kayla is giving me Kyra vibes. So they're playing pool. They're having a good time. She does say that Mike is one of her strongest connections. Girl, why? But it's not a whole lot going on. So I guess. Mike is asking questions, oddly enough, about another man while he on a date with this woman. So he said he liked Kayla. The sexual energy is definitely there. And while that's good, y'all definitely want to look past the sexual energy. But they are having a lot of flirtation. He likes Kayla. He wants to know more about her. He wants to know more about how she moves. But then he started asking questions about Randall. He was like, well, you really ain't got no connections around here, right? And she was like, well, I wouldn't say all of that. And he said, oh, you talk about old dude, what's his name? 6'9" or something like that. I said, wait, what's that? Do I smell something? Is it insecurity? Is it hateration or holleration in this Desiree? What is it, Mike? Why are you asking about another man while you on a date with this woman? You supposed to be showing improvement. And when you gonna approve my follow request so I can see if you on your Instagram showing booty cheeks or not? Because you still ain't approved me. I'm gonna have to make a Finsta. Anyway, let me calm down, y'all. I'm just yelling, child. So Kayla's kind of looking at him like, we're on a date. You need to be focused on me, not on Randall. He wants Kayla to tell him how strong is the connection between us. Like, where am I in your pics? I said, oh, Mike, I'm not used to seeing this energy from the fellas. I'm really not. I'm used to the ladies doing this. So I was very shocked. And Kayla was like, he want me to give him something that he's not even willing to give me in return. I said, I know that's right, girl. Don't tell him nothing. And I don't think she does. Okay. And so Mike is just like, well, I think we kind of both in the same situation or whatever, trying to figure out what we want. But, you got to look out for Jamila. You got to look out for Jamila. Because Kayla's just like, I don't have to look out for nobody. Okay, I'm me. I'm Kayla. I'm daddy. I'm the boss. I'm the mama. All right, don't worry about me. Worry about you and this date we supposed to be on while you worried about what I'm doing. So they had placed a wager on the game where the loser gets a kiss or the winner gets a kiss. Either way, whether you lose or win, you're going to get a kiss, right? Because it's only the two of them there. Y'all, why Mike decide to kiss her all over her cheek and her neck and carrying on because he can't be kissing up after Randall? I said, get a life. That would have turned me all the way off. I don't know about Kayla. He would not have been my strongest connection anymore. I probably just would have, well, let me not say what I would have done, but because it's going to sound evil, but I'm going to say it. I probably just would have went ahead and played with him for a little bit more so I could stay on the show, because that is a turn off. Like, why are you worried about what another man is doing? If you don't want to kiss me, don't kiss me. That's fine. But don't bring up another man. It makes you look insecure, not confident, not sexy. We don't like it, Mike. Fix it. But anyway, I guess Kayla still like him, child. Let me continue. Okay, you guys, now we're on a restroom and gas break. I feel like I'm doing a vlog without the video, but this is going to be the end, you guys, and I'm going to wrap it up. I told you I was going to get it out before midnight. Now I can do my driving in peace. Okay, so they meet up for skating, and it's going to be Samson, Mike, and Swayze, and then Kadian, Charisse, and Trinika. Now, personally, I ain't believe Trinika needed to be out there skating. When does her wrist and everything heal? Because she don't need to cause damage on top of damage. But she out there skating. And then, Kadian, what you had on, baby? Now, I know you had some little shorts on underneath. And the camera, who's the creepy cameraman? Who's the creepy cameraman that went to the booty like that? I know she had shorts underneath what she had on, but I was just like, baby, we ain't got to do it. Well, okay, all right, let me get off of it. Everybody going skating. The skating date actually looked really fun. Looks like everybody had a good time. Mike can't skate worth nothing. He needed to get off the floor, but he tried. You got to give him credit for trying. Samson ended up falling because he too busy looking at Charisse skating by. He looking at booty and he fall. But they go over and they have a little personal conversation. And this is who she has the strongest connection with for sure. Samson is super affectionate, and he realizes that, that's not a trigger, but it's something that she's not completely as comfortable with as he is. But she better get used to it, because I'm an affectionate man. He asked for a kiss at the end of well, I don't know if it was the end, but the end of the scene anyway for us. And they talk a little bit more just about how they're feeling about one another. She asked him what's the most romantic date he ever been on. He said he took a woman to Paris. I said, oui. Voulez-vous share with moi? I said, soir. Bonjour. I'm trying to go to Paris real quick, real fast. Let me brush up on my language. Clearly, right? But very nice, Samson. Okay, he letting these ladies know, baby, I don't play about when you mine. I don't play about mine. But him and Charisse have some cute little conversation, and they're getting close, and they definitely really like each other. That's the strongest connection that each of them have, I'm sure. Then we go over to Swayze and Kadian. Their conversation was good too, but I think Kadian is wanting Swayze to open up more. She gets to see the fun side of him, but now she wants to see the more vulnerable side of him. I did not know Swayze had a daughter. I don't know how I missed that. So really the only men who don't have children, I think, is Samson and Rara. We calling them Rara now. I think those might be the only two men left that don't have children. But yeah, he said that his daughter's only met one other woman, and so the next woman she meets, we got to be serious. I want that to be my woman. I want that to be my lady. She asked him what one of his flaws might be in it. He said before that he does work a lot, and sometimes he does tend to bring that home. So that would be something he had to work on. Swayze also knows he's not as open. He's not as vulnerable as he needs to be, but it takes him a while to kind of let those guards down and let somebody into his life. And so even though he does like Kadian, he just wants to be sure before he kind of lets anybody in that way. But Kadian is really wanting him to open up a little bit more and have some more conversation with her. And I do think it's going to happen between the two of them. They are definitely each other's strongest connections as well. So then we move to the next scene, y'all. And what in the red table talk is going on? Now, this is a curveball. Y'all know Nephew Tyler Perry is good for a curveball. But I was not expecting this. It was messy. It was confusing. It was a lot. But I was here for it. I was here for it. Because one thing that always happens on Ready to Love, even though this was a little uncomfortable, one thing that always happens on Ready to Love is there's a lot of conversations going on in the back chat, as they say sometimes when they beefing on YouTube behind the Patreon gates. Y'all know that's where people talk some mess behind them private walls. But there's usually other conversation going on, and it doesn't get confronted to like the last episode or the last couple of episodes. And so the whole time you think you got something going on with this person, or you think you and this person are good, but they might be on the phone with you at 9 o'clock, then they on the phone with this person at 10 o'clock, then on the phone with this person at 11 o'clock. And I'm not saying you can't do it like that, but I guess this is Nephew Tyler Perry's way of just putting it all out on the table. So, of course, the first grievance that's addressed is Shakira and how her information was released against her not her will, but before she was ready to release it, and she didn't appreciate it, and she didn't like it. And Kadian was like, "Are you talking about me?" And Shakira said, "Well, am I talking about you? Let's not. Okay, let's not." She should have just said it directly. Kadian, you released my information. I didn't want to release, especially not at that time. That was my trauma. That was my experience. And so Kadian was just like, listen, I tried to come at you respectfully. I tried to handle it the right way. That's why I said we don't even have to talk about it right now, because you might take it differently due to what you went through. And I think she did call Shakira the B word. Now, Kadian, you ain't have to do all that, baby. You ain't have to do all that. But they definitely end up having a moment. Shakira gets up, she leaves, she excuses herself because she not about to be having nobody cuss her out, nor is she gonna cuss anybody else out. But Kadian is about that life, and she's about that life on site. She said what she said, and she's not taking it back. She didn't say that, but that's the vibe I got from her. So Shakira just gets up and leaves the table. Then it was a whole bunch of other call outs going on, like miniature ones, not as big. But I think Sharice said something to Kadian. She said they already fight like sisters. Kayla does say something to Mike. You can tell that Brandy was bothered by that because she didn't know. I don't think she realized that their connection was strong and that she may have had something to worry about with Kayla, but she really doesn't, because Mike's attention to Kayla, in my opinion, is purely sexual. I don't see anything else happening with her. And it's unfortunate because I think Kayla's probably a cool girl, but it seems like most of the men are interested in what she brings, in a lust type of way, which I know she kind of leads with that too. So yeah, it's all just about adjusting how you move or whatever. So anyway, they have a moment where they have a little discussion and Brandy is irritated by that clearly. Jamila wants to know, Randall, what you got going on? Because I know your connection is strong with me, but what else you doing? I said, Randall, I bet you had a game plan. It ain't going quite the way you thought. But actually, it's going to go. It's still going to go because Randall, he didn't really make a big deal out of it. He kind of played it cool. So I think Randall's still going to be able to pull it at the end of the day. I think he's still going to be able to pull it. It was a couple other people that got called in the mix of that, but yeah, they just basically have a round table discussion and say what you got to say. So, it was a keep it real moment, I guess. So after that whole thing is over, the gentlemen get to meet up. And Nephew Tyler Perry says, so what are you guys thinking now? Who are your strongest connections now that you've seen the women interact? You've seen how they handle conflict. That's why I say, even though it was a little messy, I still liked it because it is good to see how people act under pressure. Even though it's like, some, what you call the word? Even though it's kind of drumming up a little bit of drama. One of the things that I always used to realize about Married at First Sight is when you're looking at somebody on paper, of course they're perfect. When you're interviewing somebody, of course they're perfect. When you're on a date with somebody, of course they're perfect. But when you get to see somebody upset, or you get to see what makes them get to the place of upset, then you can really start seeing the ins and outs of a person. Thought somebody was trying to roll up on my car. Don't make me have to mace y'all out here. So anyway, okay. So Justice says his strongest connections are with Looney, but he also has a connection with Tronika. He said him and Tronika have peace. That means Tronika is okay with him being cheap. Ironically enough, LJ also has a connection with Looney, but he wants to get to spend some more time with her. Samson, of course, his connection is with Sharice. Swayze, still with Katie and Mike. His strongest connection is with Brandy, which is what I thought. Randall, who was his strongest connection? Was it Jamila? Child, I don't care. He got 3 connections anyway. And who ends up being in the bottom that people are not really feeling is Sharice. And of course, Shakira. Samson is surprised that Sharice is at the bottom. I don't know why. Samson, she done got into it with just about everybody but you. And maybe one of the other guys. But yeah, I don't know why he's surprised by that. So anyway, they say, I think it was LJ maybe that said, I can't really breathe easy around her. But either way, she ends up in the bottom. And of course, Shakira ends up in the bottom because they just don't know if she's ready. Ultimately, Shakira is the one that ends up getting sent home because she's not ready, right? I mean, honestly, she is not ready. She's not ready for this. And do you know Shakira had the nerve to sit up there and say she was shocked that her name was called? Y'all, I wanted to reach through that TV and yank that flower out of her head and the bun too. What are you talking about, Shakira? Why are you surprised? You've barely even been on any good one-on-one dates because you've been dealing with... Oh, I don't want to sound insensitive. I'm going to just leave it alone. I don't know why she was surprised, but okay, surprise. You're going to be getting eliminated, going home. So we're going to see what happens on the next episode. I thought it was hilarious that Justice was talking about he going to have to step his game up. He ready. He ready to be he know these guys are competitive, but he ready to do. I said, in other words, you about to lose because we know you ain't finna do nothing but make these. You just started making phone calls. So you way behind the curve. But yeah. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I hope it was okay. I'm trying to do everything on the fly today. Next week will be better. But like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all for the next one. Bye.